Welcome. Glad you could join us here in the great outdoors. We're here at one of my favorite spots of all times, at the Geneva State Forest. It's been a few weeks since we've been here, and it's time to check the gopher tortoise apples, the gopher tortoises, and flowers that appear in the fall. They should start to be blooming, so we're going to go out and see what we can find and just have a good time and enjoy the day here at the Geneva State Forest. You know, if you ever get some free time and want to spend some time with the family and you live in this Kinston area, Geneva State Forest is the place to be. There's a number of cars here today with trailers. It means they probably have ATVs with them. And you can get out, you can ride the roads and see the wildlife and the flowers and hear the birds. And to be honest with you, they've even got a pair of eagles. Yeah, there's eagles here that are now living here in the lake, or around the lake, not in the lake. And to see them, it's worth the trip. I mean, anything's worth the trip. It only costs you $2. And if you're 60 and above, it's only $1. How can you beat that? I mean, you know, if you fish or whatever, you may have to pay a little bit more for fishing permit and so forth. But hey, any money spent with your family equals time spent with the family is well worth it. So come on out, check out Geneva State Forest here in Kinston, Alabama. If you saw our last program, we were out in the pine forest, and we showed you some small saplings, pine tree saplings. But this right here is the sapling of a long-leaf pine. So you could definitely tell that those other ones were loblolly. I mean, this you can't. Now this will probably need burned in order to come out of its sapling stage and start taking off as a tree. This is one of my favorite views at Geneva State Forest. It's just got such a beautiful lake, you know, and it supplies homes and water for all the wildlife and fish and alligators and all kinds of things here. It's just beautiful. And as I look out into the horizon, down to I look, and guess what? Yeah, more gopher apple. We're gonna go check it out. See if there's any apples on it. I'll bet you 2 to 1 that's an apple right there. We're gonna go check it out. If it is, we'll find us a tortoise. And as you can see, many of these plants did have fruit on them, and they're ripe. Some of them look like they may be rotting. They probably fell off. But we're gonna take these up to the north end, and if we find any tortoises, we'll need to give these to them. One of the great things about gopher apple plants is that they coexist with so many other ones, you know, and they don't require a lot of water, and they've put out a good amount of fruit. There's still a few here that aren't ready, and I'm sure that under some of this floor there are probably a lot more, and we'll leave those for the rest of the animals. I really haven't seen any tortoise burrows here, but other animals eat it too. So we'll just kind of look around a little more. See right there? There's a plant that's had 3 of them, and they're ripe. They're ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and take those just so that we can keep the seed. It's almost a little bit too late for the animals to eat it. The ants would of course eat it, but we got more plans for the seeds than ants do. Here are some of the other flowers that hang out with the gopher apple. I see partridge pea in here, ferns. Here's one that's not ready yet. It's still red and not ripe yet. And usually when it does get fully ripe, they usually go to the ground. So we're going to leave all the ones that aren't ripe and aren't spoiling for to replant or eat. whoever comes here and does that. A couple more here that are falling off, so we're going to go ahead and just take that one because it's rotting. There's another one there that isn't ready. We'll leave that. And there's a couple there that aren't ripe yet. We'll leave those. Remember, you know, when you come to get something from the woods, don't take it all. Leave some, not only for others, but so that the forest can rejuvenate itself and the animals can have theirs. You don't know how many animals that depend on this food source. So we're only going to take these few that we have and use the seeds to plant them somewhere else. Now these apples are ripe or overripe. They've got bugs in them and all kinds of stuff. So we're going to take these and we'll use them as seed. There's a couple of them, if we run into any tortoises up in the north end, that we'll give it to them as treats. So let's move on and we'll leave this stand alone. This is a small black-eyed Susan. You can tell by the black in here. There's one that looks similar that has, it's green in here. It's called the green eyes. And right next to it is our friends the partridge peas. There's a bunch of partridge peas out, and I'm just so glad to see that. I'd love to see the quail come back. They've been over hunted and right here at the intersection of what we call the lake, I call the lake road, and the main road coming in, and just going up the hill to go to the parking area. There's some gorgeous gopher apple. Look at that beautiful fruit. Right here in the corner. It runs all the way back up into the tree line and back up the road. Here's two that are ripe. These are beautiful. They're not guys spoiled, here at Geneva State Forest have done some major excavation here on this road. This just used to be flat. Now there's a big gully, and they've done a lot of work to get. There's a lot of water, I guess, over here. They're always busy. tree right there. See him? That's a baby. Mama went the other way. Just a baby. I just scared up that little dove, and he didn't know what to do. He hadn't got that reflex. He knew he had to get out of there. And he just flew up into a tree that wasn't too far away, and Mom went the opposite direction. And she started calling to him. And they'll meet up. But this place used to be loaded with quail. I haven't seen a single one now. This little partridge pea plant is sure doing its part to raise more peas. Look at how many buds is on that thing. They're gigantic. He's just a little guy. Keep up the good work there, Mr. Partridge Pea Plant. Doing a good job. This is our one giant gopher apple stand right here. I mean, the only way you know that there's gopher apples in a mess like this is because they'll grow. Everything else is gigantic, 5-6 foot tall. But the gopher apples, they need all the sun they can get, so they're in places where it's just them. So we're going to check this out and see if there's any fruit on it. The tortoises are going to have to be walking the roads in order to get to some of this stuff. They don't like that real high grass and stuff, and it's gigantic. So we're going to check it out. Then we're going to stop by a couple of the tortoise burrows and slip them some fruit, just to let them know that it's still out here. Killing them. There's a whole line of dead plants. But here's a little fruit that isn't ripe yet. I wonder what's killed them. It's in one row. And it's not me riding on them because I don't ride on them. I park back in the back. One thing you have to do when you're looking for fruit is to be very careful that you don't come upon a snake. This is beautiful hunting territory for snakes too, because it's little rodents and little animals that eat this stuff that they feed on. So we're very cautious, especially to get down close. If I'm going to take a strike, I want to take it in the boot, not in the arm, and face, or anywhere else. Getting this pollen. Butterflies are so beautiful. Fruit, but it's not ripe yet. We'll let it be. This is a day or two away from being ripe. Yep. That's going to be a nice fruit right there. This area right here has got a number of fruit on it. Look at this. Here's a plant. It's got 3 of them. So we're going to have some food here shortly. That's why a lot of people in the want to have a coverage in their yard. They'll use gopher apple. It's a ground cover. So look at all these nice little fruit. Oh, they're going to be so nice for the guys. Yep. Yep. Look, 1, 2, 3. There's a bunch of them here. Good. Good. There's some right there. So this is the biggest stand of gopher apples that we've located. It's here in Geneva Forest. And this is just a gift from God. Now, of course, the question will be, how do the turtles or the tortoises get to it? Look, here's a lot more fruit here over here. Now it'll be survival of the fittest if they can get their sunlight. They need 100% sun. I mean, it is hot. Every place you go to look for gopher apples, believe me, you better be ready to be standing in the sun. There's some more fruit there. It's not ready yet. There's a lot of fruit in here. So another week or two, I'll be able to come here and eat. Here's another gigantic stand of gopher apple. And it's just down the road from the stand that we just left. Now there's fruit on these. A Again, they're red. They're not ready here to eat. But there's more fruit here for them. See what I mean? There's a lot of fruit here. About a week away from being ready. This is what a gopher tortoise sees when he's walking, looking for food and stuff. It's no more than 12 inches off the ground, so he's got to push his way through over the top. And, well, we try to help them as much as we can. They're very important to our ecosystem, and that's what we're going to start doing. Found some fruit in this stand. Again, it's in the same state as the others that are in this area. They're red, filling out. Probably be a week or so, they'll be ready to go. It's a moth, and it's buried or nested himself into this patch of apples. Look at this one. Now this is going to be good. Still hard as a rock. Needs to get to the white stage. But that'll be a meal in itself for some little critter. Okay, so you're a tortoise, and you're pushing your way through. I'm hungry. I smell something. Hey, look! Apples! So we push our way through and push these bushes. And all of a sudden, alright! Look! Yum, 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 yum. Let's eat them. Good. Nice little stand of gopher apples. You can see it, it's nestled around a longleaf pine. Sandy soil. Well drained. Perfect conditions for these apples to grow and spread, and that's what they're doing. Well, we've gone back to a gopher tortoise hole that we know is in use. You can see it that it had been dug on and cleaned out, and we put in some gopher apples. Now here are some gopher apples along the side of the road, and if you look, they're ready to go. There's one. There's two of them there actually. One there. Ready to go. One there. Now we've talked to one of the forestry rangers that works here. In fact, we just finished talking to him. And he says he's been seeing tortoises go along the road. So we won't touch these. These are ready to eat. We've already baited our tortoise. He knows that they're out here. So when he comes down here, he'll find them and he'll eat them. And he'll know where to go. You know, what an awesome God we have. Tortoises, they can't climb through, you know, big tall stuff. They can't make it through there. I mean, it'd be suicide for them. They don't know what it is. So where does God put the food that they need to eat? On the roads, right along the side of the road. So they just have to walk up the road, get what they want to eat, and go back home. You know, they can be well protected. They can see anything that may endanger them and so forth. Now, you tell me that the Big Bang Theory or something other than a person creator could come up with an idea as personal as that. God is an awesome God. It was just a fabulous day here in Geneva. It's ready to get dark. We've been here all afternoon. We've seen quail, which was a blessing to me. Seen a pair of quail on the way back, and lots of doves. Plenty of gopher apples, and got a bunch of seeds that we're going to plant in New Brockton so we can get the gopher apples growing there. And it was just a great day. It was a fantastic day. Of course, you can see I had to put my away jersey on because it was hot, definitely humid today. I got to speak with Daryl, one of the rangers here. You can always find Daryl out patrolling. And we had a nice talk. Things are looking good for fall as far as hunting and the deer population. So that for you hunters that need a place to hunt, go on the website or whatever, or come by or call, and you can find out what days they're allowed to come out here and hunt deer with a rifle. This is a very tired and sweaty Al Vine saying, I want to thank you for joining us, and I hope we'll see you the next time here in the great outdoors. And remember, if you're looking for a place to take the family to get out, put a little color in your life, Geneva State Forest is the place to go.